build tool.
Mainly for what? Mainly for data
Transformation
purpose. Okay, so before now you need to understand ETL process and ELT process. Tell me DBT where exactly it will fit in the ETL or ELT process?
ELT process.
In the ELT process. Okay, so DBT will fit in the ELT data pipelines. With the help of DBT, we can easily build ELT data pipelines easily. Okay. So DBT nothing but what? It will take the raw data. So DBT will come into picture and what will get? What type of data will get? We get transformed data. So transformed. So this is so far. Tell me DBT is an ETL tool or ELT tool?
ELT tool.
No. Tell me, it's not an ETL tool or ELT tool. What exactly this thing? It's mainly for
It's a transformation tool.
Transformation.
purpose. Okay. So don't say like it's an ETL tool or ELT tool. It's not an any tool. It's only focused on the transformation part. It is not involved in the extraction part and the loading part. Tell me in your current company which ELT tool you're using? Anyone?
Snowflake.
Matillion.
ELT tool. Okay, tell me.
Matillion.
ADF.
Tell me one second, please. Tell me in our current company which ELT tool you're using. It can be Python. It can be Airbyte. It can be Stitch. Okay, so those are ETL tools. Mostly will focus on this thing. Okay, see, it can be Python or Airbyte or Stitch. Okay, any of this thing we are trying to do. Okay. Now here what happened? Tell me what are the advantages or the features of DBT? Anyone? So why you are going for DBT? Why you are going for DBT? Anybody?
For continuous integration and continuous deployment.
Okay, so generally we can say what with the help of DBT we can perform easily the development part, then
testing,
then deployment, documentation. Okay, so data lineage. Okay, see the same thing. Now we can easily go for CI/CD concept. Okay, we'll see the each and everything in detail. We can perform development activities, testing. There is a concept of singular test and a generic test. We'll see the same thing in detail. Deployment, nothing but what? Development, test, UAT, these are the environment. So documentation we can put. And what about data lineage? What exactly data lineage? Dependencies between multiple data models we can able to understand. What is CI/CD abbreviation? It's a
continuous integration and
continuous integration and continuous deployment. Okay, we'll see each and everything for one session. Okay, see deployment. Okay, same thing. It can handle SCDs easily. So with the help of DBT, we can perform easily the SCDs, slowly changing dimensions 1 and 2. Okay. And we are having the concept of packages concept is there for reusability purpose. Okay, so same thing. And DBT supports modularity also it will support. Okay, so see the same thing. So we'll see each and everything in detail. Okay. Now what happened before? No, let me understand what is Snowflake. What is Snowflake? Tell me.
It is a cloud-based data warehouse.
It is a cloud-based data warehouse. What is the purpose of cloud-based data warehouse? Tell me.
It's mainly for data processing, data
mainly for
analysis,
data storage, data processing, and data analytics. We'll see the same thing. Why we're trying to discuss. Okay, see, Snowflake is a cloud-based data warehouse mainly for storage, processing, and data analytics. Tell me, what is the purpose of Snowflake right now? What are the project or scope of the project? Tell me generally while we go in Snowflake. So we're going for data migration project. Okay, see the same thing. 1 second. So I'll try to explain what exactly Snowflake is coming into picture. So data migration project, nothing but what? Moving the data from one data source to Snowflake. Okay, so here you need to understand what. So we are discussing Snowflake data warehouse. I'll try to explain. It's mainly for data migration project. If you see this PPT, you'll get some clarity. Okay, see the same thing. Now see what happened. Okay, now see. So see, my data is sitting in on-premises or a cloud system. We'll see the same thing. Now see, we want to move this data from here to Snowflake. Tell me, this is called as what? Tell me, moving the data from on-premises or cloud to Snowflake is called as what? Data migration.
Data
so
migration.
See, so what exactly we are trying to migrate? We are trying to migrate. So see, there will be phases will be there. Phase 1, we are trying to migrate table. Phase 2, we are trying to migrate views. Okay. Phase 3, we try to migrate functions and procedures. Okay, remember those. So these things you should already know because we are working on DBT with Snowflake. You need to know all this functionality. So we are migrating the data from here to here. So because of what? Because of performance, because of cost cutting, because of all these reasons, company wants to move their data to Snowflake. Now tell me, this is on-premises or cloud. How we are trying to move? Which console will come into picture? Which console come into picture here?
ELT.
ELT, nothing
ELT.
but what, which ELT tool you're using current company? I'm using Fivetron is the ELT tool. Now here what happened? Now our data will be stored where? In the Snowflake or in the DBT? Where? In the Snowflake. Snowflake. Now what type of data we are getting? Raw data. Now data is available. Now who will come into picture?
DBT.
So DBT guy. So what is DBT definition we discussed? It is used to take the data that has been already available in my data
Snowflake.
warehouse. It can be anything. What is data warehouse? It can be Snowflake, Redshift, BigQuery, or Synapse. So here you need to understand is that what? So my data should be already available in my database or data warehouse. Now draw data is there. Now who will come into picture here?
DBT guy.
So DBT guy will come into picture. Nothing but we will come into the DBT developer will come into picture. So see DBT developer what? Tell me it is involved in the extraction pattern DBT. No.
Only in the
Okay, see only on the transformation part. Okay, see. Okay, see. Now what happens? So see we are taking this data. So DBT guy will connect to the raw data. Now what happened? Now what type of data will be available?
Transform data.
Transform data. Okay, now see here what happened. Here you need to understand is that what? So raw data will be available. So DBT will come into picture. Now we are getting transformed data. Now how we are trying to do the transformation generally by using SQL concept. What concepts we discuss? We need to discuss models concept, macros concept, incremental concept, snapshot. There are so many concepts we need to work on it. Okay, see here. So by using all the DBT concept, we are trying to make a transformed data. Okay, so you got the point. So here you need to understand is what? So data is coming in Snowflake. Now DBT will connect to the raw data. So see, it do the transformation. Now tell me now, after doing the transformation, DBT will be stored the data or where exactly data will be then?
It is in the
data
Snowflake.
will be stored in data
Snowflake.
warehouse.
Snowflake. So DBT, remember, DBT doesn't have any storage. It is connecting, do the transmission, and again do the Snowflake. Okay, so this here with the help of DBT, what we can perform? The development, the testing, deployment, documentation, data mesh, version control. Now here what happened? Now transform data is available. Tell me this transform data who will consume ultimately? Reporting people. Reporting people what they want? They want to build dashboards. Okay, so dashboards. Now what happened now? How we are trying to give to them by using views concept. Okay, so views. Now who will build this views? Which guy will try to build this views? Who will create this views?
DBT.
DBT developer. We are not Snowflake, DBT guy. So DBT guy will try to create the views. Same thing now what happened, this data need to give to AI people, machine learning people, data science people for developing LLMs or some algorithms. Now what happened now, how can they want file format? How can you go the file format by using what? By using data unload concept. So your macros concept will come into picture, same thing. Now what happened now? I want to give this transform data to different Snowflake clients. Now how can you give with the help of data sharing concepts? Here you need to understand the Snowflake concept. So views and types, data loading and unloading, and data sharing. So we should go for secure use concept. So here you need to understand what? So bringing the data, doing the transformation with the help of DBT. This transform data will consume ultimately these people, reporting people, or these guys. Got a point? Huh? Yes, am I getting a little bit? So here you need to understand is that what? So we want to bring the data, do the transmission. Now tell me now who is bringing the data? The ELT developer. It can be Fivetran, it can be Stitch, it can be Midland, or depends on the company. Whatever the tool they're using, we can able to make it working. So this is the concept of DBT. Now DBT, when it come in picture, data should be available in my data warehouse. Then only I can able to connect, I can do the transmission, and I can able to get the functionality. So with the help of DBT, we can able to do all these advantages, all these features. That's why DBT comes. So once we develop what happened, I can put my code into GitHub. I can see the lineage. I can see the documentation. Inbuilt testing functionality, sir, we can able to use a native libraries. We can see simple thing. These guys will bring the data, do the transmission, give to the them. Depends on the requirement. This is the project flow. Okay, so you got the point. The same thing here, like Medellin architecture. Tell me what is the Medellin architecture we are following generally? What layers will having?
It
So
has three
bronze
layers.
layer,
Silver,
silver
bronze,
layer,
Layer,
and the
gold
gold
layer.
layer. Tell me out of these three medals, which medal is important?
gold,
Gold
Gold,
layer.
gold. Nothing but what we need to create
It is
permanent table.
permanent.
So the main tables, what we need to go for transient.
Transient.
So transient. There, what happened? We can go for gold layer or a presentation layer. Now, what type of we need to go for what? We need to go for views. We should go for. So, see, this is the functionality. We'll see the same thing in detail. This is nothing but modularity. We'll try to follow in the going forward. Now, see what happened now. Before going now, we need to have setup should be there. Now, what happened if I want to do all these transformations? What we require?
Praveen, silver and bronze both are transient only.
Transcend only. Okay, so
Okay,
this
okay.
so
Okay.
these are intermediate or stage layers. Okay, so
Okay,
this is the
okay,
same
okay.
thing. Now here what happened now? I want to the transmission. Now what I should do? We should have DBT cloud and a DBT core. Okay, see now for our training we'll go for DBT cloud. Okay, it's a SaaS model. Tell me what is SaaS model? Software
As a
software as
as
a
a
service.
service.
service. What exactly software as a service meaning?
There will be no hardware installed.
So no need to install anything, just to create account and work on the functionality. So this is the concept of SaaS model. What about core? We should do the setup manually. Okay, so it's a setup. Okay. Now what happened? So always start with a fresh mail. Okay, so create a new mail. Okay, let
Yeah,
me
Praveen, I have one question.
onward.
Yeah, is database sorry, source table and the target table is also possible for the Snowflake, or
No, no, generally everything is in the Snowflake. See, the source and target, everything is in the Snowflake. Only with DBT guy will connect to the source table, do the transmission, give the target table.
no. My question is like in any of the organization,
Mhm.
data is available in the Snowflake and we connect it to the DBT, and the destination also will be in the Snowflake.
We'll see the same thing. Okay, once we
Okay,
set
sure.
up, now I'll get some clarity. So once we set up, now we will get some clarity. Okay, now see what happened. Let me go here. Now always now create a fresh mail. Okay, now try to search for DBT cloud. Okay, it's a free version is there, so no need credit card anything. So try DBT cloud free. So view the mail. Today we'll see setup. Tomorrow we'll see the actual thing. Okay. So we'll get a verification mail. We need to get it. Okay. So it came. Okay. Now verify your email address. Now see what happened. Okay, you can even use anything. So see, we can give any name. I'm putting as is. Continue. Now see what happened. So we need to give connection. Select the warehouse connection to use for this environment. Now what happened? Add new connection. So see, DBT cloud can be directly connected to the Snowflake Postgre anything. Now for our training, we should go for, see what happened. Click on any data warehouse. Tell me why we need to click on, why we need to connect to any data warehouse. Anyone tell me?
Because
Storage and
storage to
Because
Yeah.
DB doesn't have any storage. No, we need to have at least one data warehouse. Okay, so here you need to understand the functionalities that what. So DBT doesn't have any storage. We should have at least one data warehouse to connect it, and we need to process it. So I'm clicking Snowflake. Now what happened? Now I want to get account database warehouse. So for this purpose, what I should create? Create one Snowflake account. See, always search for 120 days. Snowflake. See, search for in the Google Chrome 120 days Snowflake. So you'll be getting this thing. So normally get 30 days only. If I want to get more than 30 days, we should 1 second. See, you get description, you get okay 120 days link. Okay. So click on it. This is just a setup. Okay. So I'll send today's video. You can able to- So we are doing simply what now? We are trying to create. So I'm trying to close all these things. Okay. So one Snowflake account and one DBT account I'm trying to create. Okay, that's it. One second. So see, this is my what we require. Let me close all these things. So now we require account database warehouse. Tell me how to get my account. So click on this thing. Okay, where I click here. So see, click on the tick mark, view account details. Okay, see what I need to copy. Anyone knows? Which one I should copy?
account
Account
identity.
identifier.
account identifier.
URL.
Okay, see,
Account
not
URL.
see account identifier. We need to copy. So see first one, account identifier. So see put here. Okay. Now what happened? Database require. Okay, close it. Open SQL worksheet. Okay, see create one database. Okay, so create database. So DBT development database. Tell me in real time who will create all these things? Which guy will try to create?
Admin.
Admin. Which admin?
Database admin.
Snowflake admin. Snowflake admin. Okay, see the same thing. So create one database. So create one schema. So DBT dev schema. Okay, same thing. Now what happened? This is my database. So put here. So tell me by default what the warehouse given. Okay, that is compute WH. So we want to create our own warehouse. Tell me what is the syntax. So create warehouse name. So DB. So by default, what is the size of the warehouse it will create?
Extra small.
Extra small warehouse. Okay, see, this is the extra small try to create by default. Okay, see, this is my warehouse. Tell me why we require warehouse?
To
To store the
data.
data.
No, warehouse. DB extra.
Processing.
Computation.
Computational
In order
cost.
to perform DML, DRL, data loading, unloading, we require computation power. Computation power given by whom? By virtual warehouse. So why should require a database and schema?
Because database to store the
Because
data.
we want to store our models, our database objects from DBT. I want to store in this database in this schema. See, 1 second, let me help you. So we are trying to use a Snowflake database, Snowflake connection. So mute yourself, a person. Okay, see. So Snowflake connections, database, warehouse. Now see what happened. That's it. We need to save it. So this is the first step. Second step, click on develop. Click on Cloud IDE. What is IDE abbreviation? It's an integrated development environment. Now see, connection has been successfully. Now if you click down, see what happened. Connection Snowflake. So if I want to see the connection, we can see the connections simply. Okay, so see, okay, we are connected to this database. So far, now see what happened. Now I want to give username and password. Tell me which username and password we want to give.
Snowflake username and password.
Snowflake, Snowsight username and password. How to get my username? Tell me, select the current user. Okay, current user, control enter. Okay. So this is my username. Okay, password. So which password I should give? Snowflake, Snowsight, password I should. Okay, now see here, they are mentioning clearly, see, in development, DBT will build your models into a schema with this name. Now, what exactly, tell me, what exactly this guy is saying? So whatever we do the models, our objects will be created in this schema, or else like what? I can give my own schema. What is my schema we created? So see, DBT dev schema. Tell me this is important. Okay, see, what exactly this thing tell me? Whenever we run any DBT models, our object will be created where? In this database, in this schema. One more time. So here you need to understand is that what? So whenever we perform any DBT models, so what exactly? Now our objects will be created where? In the DBT DB dev schema. Why? Tell me why?
Because by default we
Stored in
are
Snowflake.
Because now what happened? DBT doesn't have any storage. Whenever you perform anything, our objects will be created in this database, in this schema. We'll see the same thing in practically. Okay, see the same thing. Now see default. So test, this is nothing but MPP. What is MPP? It's a massive parallel processing. Nothing but 6 threads it will go. Instead of single thread, go for MPP. Test the connection. So once we see, no, we'll get some clarity. Then you can able to ask the question. Hold for some time. It's done now. Problem. It's success. So if everything is good now, it will be save. Okay. Save it. So see, for understanding perspective, no, we are not going for, okay, see, tell me what is GitHub, Git clone. This is mainly for what? Mainly for what?
version control.
Version control or repository. Our code will be stored here. Instead of, no, right now I'm going for simple thing. So it will be a little bit hectic thing. So right now I'm going for this thing. So going forward, we'll discuss these two things. Okay. So you go for repo. Okay, so we'll see the same thing at the end. Okay, how to integrate with GitHub, all these things. So see, now your project history. So we'll click on IDE, Integrated Development Environment. Simple thing right now, what we did, we have created. So Snowflake setup and the DBT setup. Okay, so DBT setup. So why we want, if I want to create anything, we require DBT cloud. And if I want to, okay, if I want to get the data, what I require Snowflake connections, one data warehouse. Okay, so for, you see, first step of any project is that what? Tell me, what is the first step? We need to initialize the DBT project. When you click here, what happened? The folder structure will be available here. See, first step of any project is that what? We need to initialize DBT project. You see, so our folders will be available here. Okay, so got the point. See, first step of any project is that what? To initialize the DBT project. Whereas in the DBT core, we should use the command DBT init command in the DBT core. In the DBT core, we should write the command like this DBT. So we are working the DBT cloud, the same thing. Now, what I need to click on create new file. Now tell me how to make sure like our connections are correct or not. Tell me how to get my database name, schema name.
Select current data.
Select current database. Okay. Current database, current schema, current user. How to get my role? Current role. Okay, current role. Same thing. How to get my warehouse? Current warehouse. And one more important thing, I'm putting semicolon. So see, you can use preview command or we can use control enter. Tell me to work on?
No.
No. So here you need to remember one point is that no, indirectly when right now semicolon won't work. So we should not use a semicolon. Control enter is the shortcut. See, current database, current schema, username, account admin, DBT extras warehouse. Now here, what is the point you remember? Tell me, we are not giving any role. By default, it's taking what role? It is taking account admin. So if you don't, any role, by default, tell me in real time, go for account admin, we go for sysadmin. Okay, see. Now tell me, what is this database? What is this schema? What exactly, tell me?
Target database, target
so this is
schema.
the target database, target schema. So with the help of this, okay, with the help of this warehouse, if anything, our objects will be stored in this database in this schema. Got the point? Getting a little bit?
Sure.
Okay, got the pointer. So this is the functionality. Here you need to understand is that what, so our database objects, whatever we create in the DBT models, it will be created in this database, in this schema. This is the target database, target schema. So with the help of this warehouse, we are trying to create, this is my username and this is the role. So you need to understand the background, what's exactly happening. So whenever we create, see what happened. Let me put, what is this ID? What is this one? Tell me what is DB? What is DB?
Column alias.
So it's a column alias. Okay, see, so column. I'm putting some column alias. Okay, see, simple thing. Now here in DBT, everything is a models concept. Tomorrow we'll see in detail. Right now we'll discuss high level what is DBT model. Tell me anybody what is DBT model? We'll see tomorrow in detail. Tell me.
It is a .SQL file that contains transformation logic. It contains mainly the select statement with CTEs.
Got it. It's a simple thing. Now see what happened. So this is what select statement. Where I want to save control is in the models. So what we can give any name. Suppose I'm putting test.sql. So see, so you need to understand is that what models folder test.sql. So see what is the functionality, important see the functionality. We'll see in detail tomorrow, don't worry. So just a high level models. Till we have time, see.
Sir.
What is, well, hold on. We'll ask, hold on. Okay, see, DBT models are SQL statements. It's a .SQL file that contains transformation logic. Whenever I run anything, what happen? Either tables or views will be created. We'll see tomorrow in detail why it's getting created table or view. So here you need to understand is that what, so DBT models are .SQL files that contains select statement. Assume like it contains some transformation logic. So whenever we run, what happen? Either tables or views will get automatically created. See now, what is the DBT model? It's a dot SQL files that contain select statements or with the CTs. What it contains? The transformation logic. Whenever I run, what happen? Either tables or views or ephemerals or incremental. We'll see the same thing tomorrow one more time. Then you can able to close this topic. Now see, model has been created. Now what happened? Now I want to run this model. So next one, first step is to create a model. Second step is to what?
Run the model.
To run the DBT model. Okay, so we'll see. So don't worry, we'll see tomorrow one more time. So now how to run? So DBT run -m and the model name. So see, this is important. So we'll see the same thing. 1 second, hold on. Now see, DBT run -m and the model name. So see, what is our model name? So test. So see, DBT run -m and the model name. No need of extension. Now tell me, when I run, what will happen in the background? Or like what, where exactly it will created?
Target
Snowflake.
database target scheme.
Tell me.
View is created.
Now see what happened. So see here what happened. So see where exactly our object will be created. See in the
Snowflake.
Snowflake environment or okay Redshift environment or Synapse environment. So see, because object will be created in any of the database or data warehouse environment. Now see, simple thing, DBT run -m test. What happened? See now what exactly happened. So when you click scroll down and see where exactly created, tell me. So create or replace. See, Control V. Now what is our select statement? So this is my select statement. Now what exactly happening? Tell me. So this is a model. We are running the model. Whenever we're running model, what happened? Tell me. Anyone? What happened? Tell me. Okay, our select statement will be created as a view or a table. Tell me where exactly our object has been created. Where exactly?
Target
In the
database.
in the target database, target schema. What is test? What is test? Name of the
name.
model. Okay, see here you need to understand what. So whenever we run any model, our object will be created in the target database, target schema, and the model name. Now tell me now what type of view it created?
Normal view.
Normal view. Now how to confirm in the Snowflake? Let me go back here. How is the list of views?
Show views.
Show
views.
views like test. So see control enter. Now see what happened. Now tell me it's a view. Now how can say normal view or secure view? When you scroll a little bit right, see what happened. Here text will be there are two columns. Is secure, is materialized. Okay, see by these two columns we can say it's a normal view or materialized view. One more time we need to understand is that what is secure, is materialized. So by tell me this is Boolean data type. True or false. You means a what view? It's a normal view, non-secure, non-materialized, or it's a normal view. So here you need to understand is that what? Tell me why test is created, because by default name of the model will be name of the object will be created. Now tell me now why exactly it created in this database in this schema. Tell me because
Whenever we are creating connection, we have given the database and schema.
Okay, correct. So whenever we are doing the setup now, what happened? We mentioned this database, this schema, nothing but target database, target schema. Tell me, DBT storing any data? No. So here
No.
our data will be stored where? In the target database, target schema. This is the functionality. So before that, tell me what is this database name, schema name, and object name is called as what?
Fully qualified
Fully
name.
qualified. So see, you need to understand step by step. So fully qualified name, nothing but what? The database name dot schema name dot object name. So this is called as fully qualified name. What is namespace? We'll see the same thing in Snowflake. What is namespace? Tell me.
Database name and schema name.
So database name dot schema name. It is called as namespace. Okay, see, so fully qualified name. Tell me why we need to go for fully qualified name. Tell me.
Because we are working on
To
different.
indicate snowflakes.
Now, generally, what happen in real time, will tell me in real time projects, only one database, one schema. No, we'll have multiple database, development, testing, UAT, prod, sandbox. Like this, multiple databases will be there. Suppose EMP table is there. Tell me how. So EMP table, it can be in the development, test, UAT, prod. Now, how can you know this table, this database? We should go for what concept? Go for fully qualified name. Okay, see. So nothing but what we are trying to say, we are trying to create our object in the particular database, particular schema, and this is my name. This is now called as fully qualified name. The database name, the schema name, the object name is called as fully qualified name. So by default, suppose like see the same thing, test.sql. So here you need to understand simple concept. So by default, whenever we run a model, what created it as normal view will be created. We'll see tomorrow why it's reading normal view, why cannot it see created. So as of now, understand what is model, how to create a normal view security. Tomorrow we'll see what will happen whenever I run a model, what will happen in the background, we'll see in detail. So tell me by default, whenever I create any model, suppose let me select one ID. Now tell me this is a select statement. Where I want to save the select statement, tell me.
Model.
Models. Control S. Models. Tell me, can you give the same name? Huh?
No.
No. Okay, always give a unique name. So where I want to put, it's a .sql file, put in the models. Now how to run, remember it's a case sensitive. All the comments are small case you should write. So DBT run -m
test one.
DBT run -m on the model name. What is our model name? Test one. Now tell me by default, whenever I run any model, what will create?
View.
What view? What type of
Normal
view?
view.
Normal view.
Normal view.
Where exactly created in the target database, target schema. So see, so target database, target schema, test one. How to confirm? So see, test one. Okay. So go to Snowflake and see there we can able to check. So this is not, it's a normal view. This is a functionality. Now see what happened now. I don't want normal view. Now I want to create secure view. Simple thing. So see, use underscore config. Now see the same thing. Now what happened? So see, metalized equal to view. Now secure equal to true. Okay, see the same thing. 1 second, hold on. Now see the functionality. I'm waiting again. So see here what happened. So by default, whenever we create it, it's create as normal view. Now I want to create for data sharing purpose. I want to create a secure view. How to create? Metalized equal to view, secure equal to true. Now what happened? How to rerun the model? Tell me. So use up arrow. Now see what happened. Let me go to Snowflake and confirm. So control enter, see what happened. Now say what type of view will be created. Say, so what view? Secure view is created. Okay, see a simple thing. So here you need to understand is that what simply we need to put the keyword. So DBT is taking internally. If I want to create a table, we can create. So we are not going to mention create or replace. See, remember in normal Snowflake, what happened if I want to create any database object? First, we should create the table, insert the record. But whereas in Snowflake, in DBT, what happened? So just we are putting one config thing. So DBT is creating the table and inserting the records. Okay, got the point here. Instead of 2 steps, DBT is taking care of the functionality. So simple thing. Now what happened? So control V. Now this is what type of object will be created?
Secure.
It's a secure view. Now what happens? Suppose I want to create a table. Okay, see those are not able to understand. Don't worry, we'll see tomorrow in detail. So just time is that I'm trying to cover it. Okay, see tomorrow we'll see exactly what is model. Whenever I create a white stating as a normal view, so where exactly creating, what exactly we'll see in detail. Now same thing. Now I want to create a table. How to create? Suppose see, let me open one more session. Select one ID. So Praveen name. Now tell me it's a select statement. Where I want to save the select statement name. models. Okay, so give one name. So test1 2 dot SQL. It's a dot SQL file that contains select statement. How to run? Simply use dbt run. So it's a case sensitive command. So commands are case sensitive. Dbt run -m and the model name. What is our model name? Test1 2. Now see, whenever I run, what happen? Our object should be created in the target database target schema. What's our target database target schema? That is nothing but dbt dev db dev schema. So by default, what should create? It should create as a normal view. So database name, schema name, and object name. This is called as what? Fully qualified name. Suppose tell me tell me what is test1 2
Model name.
model name. Suppose if I don't want to give the model name, I want to give my own name. Simple use config. So see here, we should go for alias class. Alias class. You see? So simple thing. So 1 second. So Praveen. Now where I want to save. So Control S. Now see up arrow. Try to see the function. Simple thing. Concepts are simple. Just follow as is. You can able it. Now see here what happened. So see where now where exactly created the target database. Target schema, our object name should be what? So Praveen 1. Why 1? Why? Because we are giving the alias concept. So here you need to understand is that what? So by default, model name will be the object name. If I want to give my own name, what exactly we should go for what? Go for alias concept. Okay, so here your task will be, so today's task is to do setup. 120 days Snowflake setup, then DBT cloud setup. Okay. So then make sure like our connections are correct or not. How we can make sure like our connections are correct? Use select current database. All these things work on it. Okay. This is the third. Okay. So third step. Now what is if you are able to understand DBT models? So create 1 or 2 models for understanding purpose. Same thing, next thing is that what, okay, next thing. So create, use the concept of alias concept. What is the purpose of DBT alias? If I want to give
My own name.
my own name to the database object. Okay. Now what happened? Now you need to understand what is fully qualified name. What is namespace concept? What the point of so this is the concept. Step by step, you need to understand the setup. Okay, so don't be in a hurry. Within 10 to 12 days, you can learn the things whatever we're discussing. So see, right now, understand what is the setup. So tomorrow we'll see in details. Whenever I run, tell me what happened. So why it's creating as a object as a view. Why it cannot be created as a transient table. So suppose if I want to create transient table, what I should do? Put simply so materialized equal to table. Now see what happened. Control S. Now try to create the same thing. Now what object it will be create? It will create as a what object? Transient table. So transient table. Okay. So if you see, okay, let me see the same thing. Now tell me what object created? Transient table. Tell me how to see in Snowflake it's a transient table or not? How to confirm?
Show tables.
Show tables. Okay, see, at least little bit knowledge on Snowflake concept, how to see the tables. So Praveen 1. Okay. Now show tables like. Now how to confirm the transient table? See, keyword transient table. Same thing. Now what happened? I want to create a permanent table. How to create? Simply use transient equals to false.
False.
So transient, okay, equals to false. Save it, rerun it. Use up arrow, it will get automatically functional. Okay. So today, just to do the setup, that's it. Don't do much. Okay, so see. So see
Praveen,
tomorrow.
we create temporary table here.
No, directly it is not false. Okay,
Okay,
so
only permanent and transient.
Only permanent. So see what happened. Let me come to see what happens. It's a permanent table. So by using DBT models, we can create only normal or secure view. Okay, same thing. So by using DBT models, we can create permanent table or transient table. Okay. Suppose if I want to create what temporary table
Hooks.
or metless views, we should go for either macros or hooks concept. So with by using these two concepts, we can go for by default inbuilt behavior is that what by using models, I can create these four objects. If I want to create temporary table or metless views, we should go for either macros or hooks concept. By using these two concepts, we can able to build our own thing. Got the point? So we'll see the same thing in detail. How to create metless views, how to create temporary tables, how to get all the things we can able to. So simply models are select statements. See this image, select statement run, it will create the table or view or ephemeral or incremental, depends on the use case we can also see. Before now, you need to understand this functionality. SQL statement, any data warehouse, tables, use cloning, data loading, we'll see the same thing. So see this image and work on this, little bit work on this thing, how to create a permanent table, how to create transient table, how to create a normal view, how to secure view. Okay, same thing. So work on DBT alias concept. So same thing we'll see tomorrow and we'll try to close this model. You know, we'll real time work on the models concept, macros concept mostly because we are saying DBT mainly for transformation logic. How can we build the transformation? The same select statement, we can able to make it working. Suppose see what happened, I create a model. Now I want to access this model. How to access or how to refer? So by using ref function, select star from underscore ref.
Ref.
What's our model name? So test 1, 2. So see if I compile now, it is giving the fully qualified name. See the database name, the schema name, object name. Tell me the model name is test 1, 2, but it's giving Praveen 1 by
We have given the alias.
alias concept. Suppose if I go for test 1 and compile, it is giving the database name, the schema name, the object name. Got the point? Same thing. Now if a preview tell me data is coming from the DBT or coming from the Snowflake, because DBT doesn't have anything. This DBT contains the definition. Our actual data is coming from what? Coming from the Snowflake. So here you need to understand this important concept. The database name, the schema name, the object name is called as fully qualified name. Fully qualified name, namespace concept. How to refer an object by using what function? By using a ref function. So see, so little bit understand the same thing. We'll try to close one. Okay, end sign 1. So far, ask those.